Everybody's been doing well?
Yes. And you?
Living the dream. That's what I keep saying. Anyone had ever said this portion of the corona, the pandemic, how you kind of thought, oh, we seen the light at the end of the tunnel, and someone said, did you know it was a freight train coming at you? I said, not this time. But no, every phase has its unique challenges. Got to keep a sense of humor and a sense of purpose, and I'm going to say a lot of snacks.
Oh, if we have a moment. So I was not able to pick up the letter today. What is the, can we discuss that?
We're live. Well, yeah, I think that what we certainly can discuss an open meeting, which so that people can understand that it appears that FOIAs have been received. It seems to be a form letter FOIA that's been received by most of our Board of Health members to their home address. Mm-hmm. Those are all being forwarded to the FOIA officer who'll determine, but typically, they have to go through a normal process. As an individual, you're not, again, as you know, there's a very specific process. So it's hard to get the public to understand that they can FOIA you here and it achieves the same response.
I'm just curious, what information are they looking for from the board members? The meetings are all open.
Well, exactly. If one of them is an electron microscope picture of the coronavirus, I know you have that. It is a form letter that's come off from various places, but basically things that we would not have in our possession. Genomic sequencing materials, things like that.
Interesting.
Well, we're in a stage where, again, people are still having a hard time. And part of understanding a pandemic or accepting that you're in it is that information is constantly evolving and changing. So why is it that you did mask at the beginning, now you mask? Why is it that when you were vaccinated, they told you didn't have to mask, but now you have to mask? Why is it that we said vaccinations were 95% effective and now they're not as effective? Why did we say you wouldn't need a booster, or you might need a booster to start? Now we said maybe you didn't, and now we might say you do it again. It's very hard for many people to understand that or accept that as we learn more about this, the information and guidance will change. And so it's, we've got misinformation, we've got disinformation and disbelief, all kind of operating at the same time. And so I think that, we do our best to try and provide the information people request in a way that they can handle it. But again, oftentimes people FOIA things that they think are in the possession of a governmental entity that are not within the local unit of government. And some people are saying they're receiving 2 or more. So I've just seen.
I haven't received any, so.
I'm going to say probably the postman just hasn't figured out your address.
That's why we entrust you with all the highly secret information, Jim. So what?
You did not say that. That was not.
How do I need to respond to this, Sandra?
You do not need to respond to it. In fact, Charlotte and Lafa have been working on this. As an individual, you are not responding to it.
So as the board, we will respond.
As the health department, we will respond on your behalf. Okay. Right. So
forward
them to us. Keep those cards and letters coming. And it's unfortunate. It's just kind of, unfortunately, it's waste in their mind. It's not a waste of time or money, but it would, there are things that are often not in possession, and people have a hard time understanding FOIA to begin with. The intent is very good. We want to make sure all of our meetings are open, that people understand decisions that are being made by the governments and their governmental entities, and what information is being included in that. some of these would be just not really FOIA materials because it's not things you generate, right? You have to have them already available to you. So you don't create materials as part of FOIA. You know, you would provide your board minute meetings, your recording, whatever it is.
Well, if it helps convince a couple of people that there's not a vast conspiracy by us and other health departments in the government, it's maybe worth it.
Do you think it might be appropriate to check back with Angie?
Yeah.
Her dog has been outside for quite a while.
Let me call her on her phone. Okay.
I can whistle for the dog. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we're not that far away from her. Maybe we could just, I'm going to just mute on this and go over it. She said she's trying to get on. She had a little trouble, but you know, she comes on computer and phone. So maybe she, if not, we'll just put her on speakerphone and have her come through.
Normally, I would say I usually have a couple of computers around the house and I would donate one to her, but I seem to be the next person who has the most problems staying connected. So that would not be a good thing.
So many of us, I mean, we've had trouble here at the health department as well. We kind of, I'm going to say we laugh, not really, we cry more than that.
Where I seem to run into problems is anytime we share a screen, it seems to clog up my
Oh,
line.
your band. Yeah,
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, the last meeting when we were getting the breakdown on the coronavirus and what was being done, I believe it's Pete. But yeah, I just lost everyone just froze up. And,
Yeah, well, you know, we should talk about that then because he presents in PDF format, so that should take less bandwidth, but I think probably it just is too much, you know, depending on the hour. And let's face it, many of our homes and areas were not created for, you know, the broadband and all this.
well, I would like to think that's the reason. I don't think it's a computer, though. I'm trying to steal one from my son who has an Apple, which should be a little bit better, but I'm not sure it'll be ready by Tuesday. But we'll have to see.
And I know Dr. You know, Dr. Lewis uses her iPad a lot. And sometimes when I have trouble here, I have my iPad and just to use as a backup to the county computer. It's, I don't know why. I think sometimes I get tired on the Zooms. Christina, maybe we can call Angie and just put her on speaker. That way, because I know she has the packet.
And everything seems pretty straightforward. I have a question or two on a couple of things, but nothing.
And I'm signing purchasing card receipts as we talk, so I'm getting something done here. It's that time of the month, I call it.
hear Angie?
I do not see her connected.
Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Angie?
Hello,
Oh,
hi, everyone.
All
hello,
right,
Yes.
Angie, how are you?
all right, perfect. So Angie, I'm gonna turn my thing up so that you can hear them.
That's fine.
Okay, we can proceed, Dr. Halverson.
All right, thank you. We have a quorum, so I will make a motion to bring the September 15th, 2021 Finance Committee meeting to order. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Hi,
Thank you, Angie. We are in session. First item is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to, or I make a motion to approve the agenda? Do I have a second?
Second,
Thank you. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Opposed? So passed. I believe I heard Angie.
Yes, she did.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We will go into financial statements. A resolution of expenditures for August has been deferred till information is complete. Our statement of fund balance also deferred. Our financial review information is deferred. Our balance sheet is deferred. We will go to our bank reconciliations, our four main accounts. If you look at page number 2, we have our general account, which currently has a balance as of August 31st of $360,539.08. Adjusted book balance $359,863.17. Do we have any questions concerning the balance?
I didn't understand on that sheet where it's got the adjusted book balance and then it's got a 1359 ASA 11.
I'm not sure how that came through there, but that it should be the same number and there is no difference in the reconciliation. So the
Okay,
adjusted book balance should be 359,863.17.
okay.
I just thought maybe there was a new code I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah.
we
Right.
all got the new code.
Okay, thank you, Jim. And Jim. This information only, we go to our lead account. Currently, we have a balance of $146,285.22. We had 2 deposits in the month of August and also a withdrawal to pay some of our contractors the lead removal. So as we're moving to the end of the year, I'm assuming that's why we're starting to receive some of these, Jim?
Yeah, we had 2 reimbursements that were paid and then one that was transferred up to the main account. So
Okay.
that's, and now in September, we've transferred those 2 reimbursements that came in up to the
Great,
main
thank you.
account.
Side question, I believe the lead account or the lead abatement used to be a 3-year grant.
Yeah,
Is
it's 3.5 years.
Okay,
And we specifically target that account for when the wires come in. So they HUD asks for a specific bank account, and that's what we're looking for.
where are we in the middle of that grant? Or where are we in that grant? What year, do you know
Well,
offhand?
we're about a year and we're about 15 months in after.
Okay, so we still have 2 more years to the grant.
Yes.
That's
Okay,
correct.
thank you. Go to our abandoned properties account. We're keeping our minimum of $5,000 in that, no change at this time. And we go to our state of Illinois e-pay, which is page 12, where we have a balance of $358,727.65. Do we have any questions concerning any of those accounts?
Nope.
Okay. Our revenue and expenditure reports is deferred. Our public health emergency reserve minimum graph is deferred, and our current accounts receivable are deferred for August 31st. They should be available by our September meeting next Tuesday. We'll go to major expenditure reports, which can be found on page 15. The summary, the first being the vital records report for electronic filing fees for death certificates for August of 2021 in the amount of $7,920. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Thank you, Angie. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. I apologize. Did anyone have any questions concerning the amount?
No.
Or the expenditure? All right.
No.
I apologize. Next, we have something through our public health or
Personal health services.
thank you. I'm sorry, personal health services. It is gift cards for Illinois Wise Woman Program, breast and cervical cancer. It is $3,100 gift certificates to Shoe Carnival for the amount of $3,000. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? I have a question. I'm all for this. This is great, but how do we determine who gets a?
Yeah, this is part of,
certificate?
okay, they have to participate in certain screening activities as part of the Wise Woman, which is really, it's really not the breast and cervical, it's more the cardiovascular risk reduction program.
Okay,
And so there's designed to be shoes to be worn for exercise and walking programs.
that is
So-
excellent.
So they have target goals that they have to reach in the program to participate. And so this is we took on additional funding this year as part of the Wise Woman to reduce the cardiovascular risk in, it's the same client populations eligible for the breast and cervical cancer program.
Okay.
Anything
Good.
else on that one, Jim?
I think you covered it.
Okay.
Well, I think that is great.
Yeah,
we-
upon successful completion, they would get their gift certificate. So
Mhm.
it's incentive, and they're wrapping up their contract here. It's the end of September, so for this particular one, and then it's been renewed, but that's what it's for.
Do we have more than 30 participants in the program at this time?
No, they would be limited to 30. So.
Okay, great. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in, any more discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Angie gave her aye.
Oh, thank you, Christina. My sound is, but the motion is carried. We have two major expenditures. This is for information only from Cone Incorporated, the elevator update, both the staff service elevator and the visitor elevator. The staff elevator is in the amount of $104,500. The visitor elevator is for $129,700. This was taken electronically, and there was unanimous ayes with two votes not taken. Do we have a time frame? I know it was like 93 days minimum before they start. Are we hoping by the end of the year, or we don't know?
We actually don't know. And remember, we asked that you approve it ahead because it gave us 3 weeks of lead time to get it in the queue. Similar to other things, facilities is going to oversee this project along with their other, but the challenge has been they need to get it in the order for the parts to come in and all of the items that they need. So again, we wanted to make sure we were getting on the list so that we were not another year out on getting this done.
All right, thank you. Let's see. We will move to propose. Does anyone have any other questions?
No.
Okay, we will move to proposed contracts and agreements, which can be found on page 44. One moment.
And actually, A and B are the same agreement.
I was going to ask because I understood what the service agreement was, but I couldn't quite figure out what the business was actually for.
Okay, and
Do
this
I-
is, go ahead.
Do I need to do these separately?
No. But we can, since they're line items separately, we'll make sure that they're incorporated. They're one agreement.
All right, great. We have two agreements with Swedish, or we have one agreement with Swedish American Hospital, business associate agreement for the WIC program. It is an existing contract already. We're just renewing it. There is no actual amount associated with this. Is that correct?
Correct. This is for our WIC staff to go in and really offer WIC services to the women in the mother baby unit at Swedish American Hospital. The business associate agreement is because we're sharing protected health information between our two programs.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further questions concerning these agreements? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Or opposed, signify by saying nay. Motion is passed. We will move to item C, substance use prevention programming, marijuana awareness, communication with the Abraham Lincoln Middle School. I'm not seeing a actual cost or amount associated with that.
No, this is for us to provide services by agreement at the school regarding our substance use prevention programming.
Okay, all right, and this would start when? Once we have the agreement? That is for the school year 21-22?
They're talking about regarding, they're going to be working, yes, for the school year 21-22, but specifically they've got from 1 year of date of execution, but again, the focus on 21-22. And they've got the provide information regarding the 2022 Illinois Youth Survey for the time frame of January through May. So they will start as soon as the agreement is executed.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve? Can I
So
ask?
moved.
Angie,
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the proposed contract signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So passed. We have two, and I hate to pronounce this DOPP, D-O-P-P.
I know,
Program,
over.
one with the Jericho project. That is a new contract in the providing Narcan training. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion concerning this? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion so passed. The second is with the South Beloit Police Department, also the Drug Overdose Prevention Program, providing Narcan training. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion so passed. F is a tobacco enforcement program through the City of South Beloit Police Department. Now, there is a cost associated with that. Do we supply that for the hours provided? Because that is on.
It's on page 62.
Thank you.
And Jim, it says that this is a revision. I wasn't made aware we had a revision. Did they increase or?
Not to my knowledge.
I'm looking at the chart.
it's revised. Let me see if I can find my email.
I would have to see what the previous one was.
Cheryl said the revision is in the indemnification section.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
That's what her
Need a
email.
second.
okay, we need to probably talk to, has that gone through legal?
I'm not sure. I would have to check with Cheryl.
So by Tuesday's meeting, we will make sure that it's gone through legal on the updated indemnification language.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
I don't see it even.
it is on page 64, number 14. I don't know what's changed with that though.
No, I don't either.
And also
I'll go take a,
with this contract, I know they do mention the costs incurred, the hourly. And wasn't there usually some sort of reimbursement for the youth who was doing this also? I don't see that mentioned in there.
I don't believe it is. We do those separately, so
On
that,
page 82.
Dr. Halverson, Angie asked if you were talking about page 82.
No, page 62, two compensate, two under compensation, it has it broken out for the officers reimbursement and the mileage. And I just thought there was at one point that the
yeah,
youth who went in to do this was also reimbursed. I just don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
know
gonna
that-
take a louder looking here. I'm gonna pull up the previous agreement
Okay,
because that was right. They were to how do I say, pay,
I don't think we let him keep any cigarettes he was able to purchase. I don't believe that was part of the agreement.
okay.
Thank you, Christina. I appreciate that laugh.
While Sandra's checking, I just had a question. Is there a difference in terms of E and F between the South Beloit Police Department and the City of South Beloit Police Department?
It's still with the city of South Beloit. It's just the one.
Oh, you're muted, Christina.
You're muted.
It's still with the city of South Beloit Police Department. It's the TEP one, the second to the last one, I think. It specifically states in the contract that they're listed as SBPD, so that they're known as that, as, yes, the contract is listed on.
I don't see a whole lot of difference in the indemnification. So, I mean, it just says they've got the party shall indemnify and hold harmless. And then our original agreement, the South Beloit Police Station shall indemnify and hold harmless WCHD and Winnebago County. So I'm going to have someone make sure that the legal's okay with that change. I don't think it's a big change, but the monies were not, let me just see something who to, did it, I think the officer, the chief may have changed too.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't see the last, I know this was taken up at the last board, but they must be reimbursing separately for the students, you know,
Okay.
that participate, because they have to identify the community participants.
I can ask Cheryl to provide more details at the meeting.
Yeah.
And at this time, then I'm recommending that the finance committee table this until the meeting on Tuesday.
Sounds good.
We have
Makes,
a little bit more information on the indemnification change. Do I need to put that through a motion? Or may I just table that as a,
I should make a motion that we lay this over until Tuesday's meeting. And
thank you, Angie.
Tuesday on
21st.
21st.
All right, I'm going to take that as a motion. Do I have a second for that?
Second,
Thank you. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. We will lay over that until Tuesday's meeting. Our last contract and agreement is with Siacom. It is for a translation or interpretation services with a, looks like a lot of this is computerized by phone. There is
Or
a
Zoom or
or Zoom.
virtual reality, video remote interpretation, over the phone interpretation. And this is basically our language line services that we use for translation when we're doing direct client services with individuals with limited English proficiency that need translation services, or I should say interpreting services.
Is this who we have used in the past?
Yes.
Okay, because there was, let's see.
Yeah, they were under a different name,
Name.
Voyants, and we use them agency-wide for refugee, family planning, WIC, and, with this, our rate per minute is down. It was like 95 cents, and this is, I think it's 81 cents a minute. But we have a $10 minimum charge, which I'm sure we'd use every month. So,
My guess is that's used
oh, yes.
Oh,
up
yeah.
very quickly.
So, yeah, and our expenses over the last year were like 23,000, which is how through Voyants agency-wide. So that's how we calculated the PO.
And they're now under government services contracting.
Yes,
They're on because I look at the GPO pricing. That's what we're getting on this,
right.
the government purchase.
Okay. What I didn't see, I saw the leasing of the, I guess they're called the Flex Elite units or the Flex Elite units with iPad Pro. How many of those are we leasing?
I don't think we're committing to any of those.
We are not.
No,
Okay,
No, just the language service.
just the language. All right. Do I have a motion to approve? Oh, yes.
So moved.
Angie?
Second,
All right. I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further questions? Do we have any further questions concerning our agreement with
further
Siacom?
question. I am amazed at how many different languages that we cover. Absolutely amazed. You don't stop to think about it.
Yeah, and that we have to have that capability. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we're
It
gonna
is
see some
Fairly
refugees.
amazing.
Yeah,
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving said contract with VSN Supply, signify by saying aye. Or
Aye.
aye. So passed. Opposed? None, so passed. Is there any additional business?
We probably will have one additional agreement coming through, which will be the, just flew out of my head. We have the combined site agreements now for COVID and influenza. So we'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
sending over a model agreement that will be used for the sites that sign up to do community-based influenza with COVID vaccination administration. So we have that. And what's the other one, Christina? I probably don't even.
Influenza with IDPH CMS.
Oh, the agreement with the state of Illinois to provide influenza vaccinations with COVID vaccinations to state of Illinois employees.
Mhm.
And every year we bring that to you.
Question with the, I believe we've already, in fact, I know we've already ordered our flu vaccine for the year because we do that many months. Are we expecting, how are we going to promote that since flu was so low last year? Do you think we'll have a lower turnout for people for influenza vaccines, or are we going to hit this promotion a different way, a little harder?
Well, we're hitting it harder because we're also going out into the at-risk areas. So we're starting our first rollout. Durand is going to do it with us. They were on it because we're combining with COVID. That's also a requirement right now for a lot of the, I'm going to say the state of Illinois Department of Public Health made the recommendation that we coordinate influenza with COVID and offer both at the same time. So we've got some low vaccination rates out in that region. So Durand High School is going to host us there for vaccination. And so we're going to start with that promotion, and then we're going to continue to offer it on our Wednesday, I call it Wednesday nights and Saturdays at the health department clinics. We have set up, and you approved this previously, was the influenza registration module through our Qualtrics system. So we'll be using one system for community-based that will take them through the different, whether or not they want flu and COVID, just flu alone, just COVID alone. But we're going to use every opportunity we can to really address the vaccine hesitant. We really are encouraging those individuals that have, I'm going to say, insurance to go to their primary care providers and or the retail pharmacies. That's not been an issue, but we are going to be pushing hard in the school age population, the influenza vaccination with the COVID, and what we call the communities of concern, which are really our kind of the communities that have our concerns around, they call them EAV communities, and I can't equity, I forget what the A stands for the vaccinations, equity vaccination efforts with the state. So we are going to be targeting those areas in terms of outreach, in terms of, promoting smaller, kinds of venues to do that. And so we are going to be challenged, right? Because we know sentiment on both is not really high right now. So it's going to take a little more effort. We just came off a school call with IDPH and school experts and ISB, and there's a lot of discussion about how they're going to incorporate vaccinations into the school code. So, yeah.
Question, as we do this, will they be able to combine the COVID and the influenza vaccine into one single injection, or will it have to be two? That may make it a tougher sell.
Well, first of all, it's very interesting. One is you can give both without respect to timing, right? So let's say I go the day before and I get flu, and then tomorrow I go and I want COVID. You can give it both at the same time because the technology that's used and how the immune response is created do not compete or interfere. Right. That's the science behind it. If you're giving it like let's say, what you don't want to do, you have to separate the injection site by more than an inch, or you can give it an opposite limbs. I mean, and I kind of was chuckling a little bit about that. I mean, I don't know, is it, your arm's going to be sore either way. And I think that will be the challenge. People that are already, as you know, shot and injection averse are going to have trouble with that. We do not offer any of the flu mist, but some doctors' offices may actually provide the LAIV, the live attenuated nasal for flu. I'm not sure how many more people, but I just saw a car pull up. It's Wednesday night here, and I just saw a car pull up with 3 kids get out with their masks on, coming up to the vaccination clinic. So excellent. I think that people are understanding. I think they're getting now is it won't convince everyone. And I don't like to call it mandates, but, requiring vaccine or testing, test and exempt and exempt and test or vaccinate is persuading some people to consider a different pathway. Yes. And we're seeing more infections in children. Nationwide, the numbers are very concerning. But locally, I think our schools are doing a tremendous effort and lift with, I think, Peter, probably we don't get to talk a whole lot about, because we extended our CLIA license. For those of you who are way back, you approved the extension of CLIA license. We bring the schools on. They actually do testing of students that are symptomatic. and work toward keeping kids that are quarantined if they need to test them. They're not doing all testing of all staff that are exempt. You know, they really don't have the bandwidth for that. But they've really, again, are continuing to work hard. And we have, right now, I think we have 3 identified outbreaks in schools, 2 of them associated with sporting events. One is they're currently investigating, but given the number of schools and the number of children that we have, I just looked at this because a reporter asked me how many kids, and I was kind of blown away by, and this is off the annual report and talking to Scott Bloomquist, we have over 45,000 students.
Mhm.
And when you think about it, we have almost 33 different, when you think about, we have 22 non-public, not non-public, yeah, that sounds awkward, doesn't it? But they call it non-public. We would call it private. And then 11 public districts over close to 100 buildings. And so when they talk about 6 locations having, you know, COVID or 60 students out of 45,000, that's, you know, you have to do the denominator piece. I'd like to say there were none. That would be my goal. But with transmission as high as we have in our community right now, I think they're doing a tremendous job, and it's a big lift for them.
Great.
Good.
Good. Thank you, Sandra. Do we have a need for an executive session?
No, you do not.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Move.
Have a motion in a second. All in favor, signal for saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
And thank you for your patience.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Bye.
Thank you.
Sandra,
Yes.
Right.
things have been crazy, so I apologize. I was not aware we were still doing Wednesday and Saturday clinics. Is there still need for volunteer to either move
Yes.
people around or?
Yes, we do. In fact, just to kind of give you a little update, we did request an extension of what we call the contract nurses that come from the state.
Mhm.
So we have 5 nurses, and they call them 2 admins, but we would call them 2 support. But we are going to need some help, Dr. Halverson, because even with that, and then trying to kind of return to some routine, that's hard for us to do. So if you're interested, I call it, it's kind of like Wednesday night at the museum. It's Wednesday night at the health department or Saturday at the health department. In addition, if you'd like to come to the fairgrounds with us, we're doing Winnebago County Fairgrounds. That's another location.
What day would that be? Or what days would that be?
It's going to be in October.
Hold on, let me get the dates. I can bring up the fancy calendars here. And I can have Rebecca reach out to you. She's off for the next couple of days, but I can have her reach out, Dr. Halverson, because we are needing, as we said, to use our volunteer and our medical reserve corps. And of course, medical students are so excited because they don't often get to do these. Hold on, I have to get my right Google Calendar up. I have about 4 of them now. All right, let me see about this one. I know when the vaccination dates are.
Let's see,
Okay, Tuesday, the 21st, they're at Durand from 3 to 7. I don't think you want the jail. And Saturday, the 25th, they're at the Love Rockford Fest.
Okay,
And they're doing it from 10 to 2 at the Second Congressional UCC, Second Congregational UCC First Presbyterian. They got them all listed there.
these next 2 Saturdays I know are bad. Wednesday nights are typically crazy. Tuesday, the 21st might be good, though I would be a little bit later than the 3 o'clock. But after the 25th, which I believe would be the 3rd of October, I can definitely start to give you some Saturdays.
Nice. All right, I will let them know.
All right.
Because our October 9th will be the Winnebago County Fairgrounds. So we'll be out in that area of the region of the county again.
Okay.
And there are some other dates if you have time off during the day, which I'm sure that we're doing some state of Illinois events, right, for their employees. So from 9 to 11, we're at the medical college on the 6th. And then we're also at I don't know what IDS, Illinois Department of Employment Securities, right? That's
Okay.
their unemployment office, I would call it, but that's from 2 to 3 on that day. So, again, whatever hours you can, I will have Rebecca put that calendar out for you so you can take a look. And, even if it is an hour or two, you get to, I always say it's a good show of support. You get to meet some of your colleagues that are working out. It's amazing how many people you can try and convince. Cheryl's been working a couple of people that one of her church ladies called her today and said, I'm kind of tired of getting testing. Is it time for me to get vaccinated?
Yes.
Cheryl said, of course. When can I bring you in? Tonight? And so, I think everyone's reaching out one by one. You never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to influence to get vaccinated. We're still fighting that uphill battle. And of course, we're waiting for information that's going to come out. The FDA is going to look at the science data this Friday. We don't know when ACIP is going to meet. Their September isn't until the end, so they may consider it sooner. There's a lot of mixed information coming out preliminary about whether or not they're going to recommend boosters for everyone. And who's going to be recommended? What are the eligibility? Is it going to be age? Is it going to be product? Is it going to be congregate setting? So more to come on that. So, we kind of, like I said, it's the fun never. The challenges never change. That light at the end of the tunnel seems to be, it might be that train coming toward us. But we're working through it. So, and again, you're always invited as members of the Board of Health if you want to see how things are, what that's like or what that's doing. Please let us know. We're at the court system on the 15th we got a lot of dates coming up in October again. And again, flu, there's still a recommendation to try and get it closer to October rather than September, except for women who are in their 3rd trimester of pregnancy and infants, or those who are have not been vaccinated previously. Those 6 months to 8-year-olds that need 2 doses to start this, you can give it as soon as possible, and then you're going to get, but October seems to be the big push months now. And of course, before Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yes. The family get-togethers. Are we still live?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're encouraging all of our community to get vaccinated against flu so they know what's coming up.
Excellent. Well, I will definitely be getting vaccinated. All right. If that is it, everyone have a great evening.
Thank you.
See someone at a Saturday clinic soon, and possibly some of these other dates.
All right. We'll be making arrangements for our Board of Health members to come in and get vaccinated for flu as well. And we're kind of waiting to hear more about boosters so we could coordinate those visits as well for you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.